is better and more is better. That is the ethos of what it means to be American. And boy, does this Grand Wagoneer embody these requirements. It is an exercise in excess, a rolling land yacht filled with leather, technology, luxury, and screens. This is the Jeep Grand Wagoneer Obsidian. All Grand Wagoneers come as standard with a 6.4-liter Hemi V8 that makes 471 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. The regular tier Jeep Wagoneer starts off with a 5.7-liter e-torque Hemi V8. That's the same engine that I had in my Ram 1500. That makes 392 horsepower and 404 pound-feet of torque. So the Grand Wagoneer Standard has a pretty hefty increase in power with the 6.4. It's a potent engine. It's smooth. It's paired really nicely with the 8-speed automatic transmission. All Grand Wagoneers are also 4x4 as standard, and they can tow just under 10,000 pounds. Now, it is a almost 6,400 pound luxury SUV, a 3-row full-size SUV, and as a result of that big thirsty V8 and the hefty curb weight, it gets pretty abysmal fuel economy. Rated at 13 mpg city, 18 highway, and 15 combined. I've been seeing just over 13 miles per gallon. With a 26.5 gallon fuel tank, you'll likely want to increase your fuel budget. But given the price of this thing, I feel like most people buying a Grand Wagoneer don't really care that much about how much fuel costs. In terms of exterior styling, well, it's hard to make something this big look great. It's challenging because it's the size of a small apartment building. And this is the regular sized Grand Wagoneer. There will be a grander Wagoneer, which is an extended length one to compete in the segment. But even so, this is nearly 18 feet long, and it's massive. Somehow it makes 22-inch wheels not look big at all. They actually look kind of small. These are 22s. It's crazy, right? So this is the Grand Wagoneer, which means it has some improvements or actually upgrades over the regular Wagoneer. Different headlights and taillights, and the way the headlights do the kind of startup dance when you remote start it, when you unlock it, that fade in and out with the headlights and taillights is really well done. It looks very nice. The Obsidian package, there are 3 trims. So you've got the Series 1, Series 2, Series 3. This is a Series 2 with the Obsidian, which kind of stands alone as a separate trim, but what it really means is it blacks out everything. So the grille, the badging, all trim, windows, surround, the wheels itself, everything is blacked out, and it looks really nice on a full black Jeep Grand Wagoneer. It is just completely murdered out pretty much. I think it looks pretty cool. Personally, I still think the Cadillac Escalade styling stands out a little bit more, but it definitely looks to be a Jeep with the 7-bar grille up front, even though it doesn't have any Jeep logos really apparent on it. I noticed a tiny little one here by the side view mirror, but we've got Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer lettering all over it. Jeep is really positioning Wagoneer as kind of its own separate sub-brand. When you open the door or unlock it at night, you got a puddle lamp that says Wagoneer on it. On here, obviously, it's all blacked out lettering. It's huge, 22-inch wheels, power sideboards. Around back, it's pretty squared off. I mean, that's how you can have so much cargo and passenger capacity in there. More lettering out back too. But from a styling standpoint, I mean, it's just massive. That's probably the most defining trait of the styling of the Grand Wagoneer is, holy crap, it is enormous, and this one is all blacked out. With that, let's hop inside. We'll talk about the interior, some of the technology, what it's like to drive, and the value. The inside of the Grand Wagoneer is fantastic. It's very, very nice, and that's actually a little bit of an understatement because this is where some of the excessiveness starts becoming even more apparent. We have a 23-speaker, 1,370-watt Macintosh reference sound system. That's quite nice. We have a combined 75 inches of digital display screens. 75 inches of screens, and here's how they all break down. Full digital cluster right in front of me. In the middle, we have a 12-inch Uconnect 5 touchscreen with standard wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Below that, we have another touchscreen here that controls anything from climate to your front seat lumbar to your massage settings for the front 2 seats, and it retracts. You press a button here, and the whole screen turns off, and it rotates up to reveal your wireless charging pad, your various USB ports. You have an HDMI connection there. We're going to press that touch button again, and the screen will come back, and you can have your massage settings going. Then continuing across the dash, we have the class exclusive 10.25-inch passenger display screen, which is right in front of the front passenger seat above the Grand Wagoneer lettering. That has a really cool piece of technology because I can't see it from where I'm sitting in the driver's side. Somehow they've got, whether it's polarization or something, where the passenger sees it very clearly, but it's not distracting to the driver. So it can do anything from navigation to all sorts of controls, entertainment too, on that screen without distracting your driver. So that's another 10.25-inch touchscreen. Now onto the second row. They have another comfort display, which is a touchscreen controlling the various climate settings, the heated and ventilated second row seats, and then there are two 10.1-inch TV screens, entertainment screens, that can be independently controlled. There's two remotes. You can play two different things. Amazon Fire TV built in. That all adds up to 75 inches of digital display screens. Oh, there's also a digital rear view mirror, which I have going on with a live camera feed. That really does help if you have a lot of stuff piled up in the back, if you're storing cargo, or also at night, a lot better vision. It helps eliminate glare. So digital rear view mirrors are pretty cool. But, like I said, excessive. 75 inches of interior touchscreens, that's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Now, the material quality and other luxury features. So they have 24-way front adjustable seats with massage. They're heated and cooled. Very nice heated steering wheel. The steering wheel is actually nice. It's a two-spoke design that I like a lot. The only other two-spoke recent that I can think of is like a Mercedes S-Class, and I thought it was cool in that too. It gets nice and warm. Everything is trimmed in stitched leather or other high-quality materials. This Obsidian has some like silver and black trim all over the place, whereas the other tiers I think is actual genuine wood with metal inlays. The technology is really nicely integrated. Material quality is nice. Suede headliner here. The seat controls are on the door itself. Materials feel extremely nice. It's very luxurious, very well done. I actually think it's a little bit better than the Escalade, where the Escalade on the surface is really nice. Once you got below, like some of the lower pieces felt a little more plasticky. This is very well done. Center console here also has a refrigerator. It's currently just filled with like my camera stuff and some paperwork, but there is a refrigerator in the center console, and then the top part actually slides open too. There's more USB ports in there. It's massive. There is a ton of interior space. Visibility is fantastic. It rides very comfortably. Let's see, what else about the interior do we need to touch upon? The second row is very spacious and comfortable too. Fits a 6-foot+ adult without a problem. Third row actually is pretty comfortable too. I sat back there setting up a GoPro, and I wouldn't want to spend like a full-length road trip in there, but in a pinch you can haul adults for sure, and extended length will be coming too. A grander Wagoneer. There's been some spy shots seen of a even more massive Grand Wagoneer. Despite weighing 6,400 pounds, this is actually kind of quick given its size. That 471 horsepower 6.4-liter V8 gets this to 60 in under 6 seconds, which I believe is quickest in the class before we get something like the Escalade V, which will be a whole different kind of monster. But it is big, it is hefty, it has a lot of driver assistance technology, from the lane keeping to the cruise control. All of that together makes this pretty up to date in terms of those technology features. We have a heads-up display, which I noticed works decently well with polarized sunglasses. A lot of heads-up displays, as soon as you put on polarized sunglasses, they completely wipe out. You can't see anything. With the one in this Grand Wagoneer, it fades a lot, but you can still see information, which I kind of like. That's a little detail that I noticed. It rides very comfortably on adjustable height air suspension. I've spent most of my time, there's various drive modes, just in auto. I did put it in snow when we got a little bit of snow earlier in the week, but it's got rock, sand, and mud, snow, auto, and sport. Adjustable height air suspension has really just been an aerodynamic, or when I entry exit. No off-roading has been done with this Grand Wagoneer. It's just so massive. Is it capable? Absolutely. The quadrant drive, or 4-wheel drive, and all of this technology together would allow it to be capable. I don't think this is actually trail rated though. Unlike a Grand Cherokee or something like that, Jeep isn't making any qualms that this thing can go tackle Moab, something like that. It's not designed to be an off-roader, but it has plenty of that capability. This is built off a modified Ram 1500 chassis, and it does feel like it has a lot of truck-like behaviors. That being said, it is still very isolated, very quiet, very comfortable, absorbs road imperfections pretty nicely. Even with 22-inch wheels, it has a good amount of sidewall, and then the driver assistance stuff. You can option one of these with night vision, because that's very important to have. Night vision in your massive 6-figure luxury SUV. So driving it, I mean, it's great. It's actually really easy to talk about a vehicle like the Grand Wagoneer just because there are so many features. It is so extra. There's so much in it. It's easy just to ramble on for 2 hours, talk about everything. I brought some friends in, my girlfriend, and they were all like, wow, okay, if you're not used to this level of opulence and just over-the-top everything, it's a little bit overwhelming. But having spent some time in full-size luxury SUVs like the Escalade, Navigator, some of the German Range Rovers, I'm a little more accustomed to some of these things, so you can look at it. Is it worth it? What's the value of this Grand Wagoneer? So it's new to the marketplace. When I first posted on social media that, hey, look, I'm spending a week with a Grand Wagoneer and its stickers for $109,000, there were some people who I don't think really knew what this was. They're like, oh my God, I can't imagine paying $100,000 for a Jeep. That's too much. And my response was, this is right in line with Navigator and Escalade pricing, within a couple $1,000s. It is extremely price competitive. The thing is, the Navigator and Escalade have been in this segment for a while, and Jeep hasn't had a Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer brand or model in the market for a while, so people, I don't think, were as aware. The Series 1 entry level starts at around $88,000. The Series 3 gets up and starts at $105,000. So this is a pretty well optioned Series 2 Obsidian for, call it $110,000. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. But what you get is just a cocoon of luxury. It's the sheer scale of it. This is for the 1%ers with big families that want to get around in style, in comfort, haul as much cargo as you want to haul, and as many offspring and family members as you want to bring around while getting a massage with a 1375 watt sound system with 23 speakers, air suspension. Like, it does everything very well. How does it compare to the Escalade? That's the big one, because Escalade is also brand new. The Navigator has been waiting for a refresh, I think. The Escalade, I think, looks a bit better. I think the OLED screens in the AKG sound system, I have given the edge to the Escalade. Those kind of wowed me a little bit more. The material quality, I think, is better on the Jeep. And from base engine versus base engine, the V8, I think this is quicker, stronger. It drives a bit nicer. It rides a bit more comfortably. Styling, I would still give it to the Escalade. So it's a toss-up. Really, you got to experience it. I mean, you're spending 6 figures on a massive luxury SUV. It does become pretty subjective. It's like, what feels better to you? What do you enjoy more? Which one do you like more? Do you like this treatment of screen? Do you like the curved OLED screens? You can't go wrong with either. I am really interested to try out the regular Jeep Wagoneer. So it's the same platform. You don't have as many of the features as standard. You can option them on. The materials won't be as nice. It won't be as absurdly over the top. But I believe it starts $30,000 cheaper. So I've requested some time with a regular Jeep Wagoneer to compare and see how it is. I know this is going to be nicer, so I probably should have gone in the other direction. Wagoneer to Grand Wagoneer. But it's definitely worth checking out to get the similar scale in terms of volume and passenger capacity. And you can get a lot of the things. Like the passenger screen, I believe that becomes optional on the regular one, and you don't have as high-end of a sound system. You don't have as fancy of materials, but still. So back to the Grand Wagoneer. What's the value like? I mean, it's massive. Very few vehicles can match this in terms of cargo capacity and people capacity and just sheer magnitude. If that's what you're looking for, yes, it works. Is it a little bit daunting to try to park in tight parking spaces or drive around like a downtown area? Yeah, I feel like I'm as wide as the road, but that's what these vehicles are like. It fulfills the requirement of just excess. It does everything over the top. Nobody needs 75 inches of touchscreens. You don't need your lower massage screen to retract to show where your USB ports and your wireless charging pad is. That I like press that little bit. Whoa, that's cool. It has self-parking. It has all the things. It has all of the things. And that's what you can say about the Grand Wagoneer. It is an exercise in being excessive. It is an awesome luxury experience. I think it's a fantastic achievement by Jeep and their team in entering this space and really bringing a full-size, 3-row, top-tier luxury SUV. I'm looking forward to see how well it does. I think the sales have been going well so far. I'm interested to check out the regular Wagoneer, and I definitely will try to get some time with a Navigator and Escalade again to do a more back-to-back comparison. But I mean, massage seats, heated everything, looks pretty awesome. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed my time, and how can you not? with the Grand Wagoneer. Make sure you also check out my more behind the scenes living with vlog, where I document day to day what it was like, cargo capacity, showing off some of the more details of the lights and remote start and all of that type of thing, the dances that the DRLs will do. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching.